Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome back to another wonderful episode here of Sports Dolls. We have Season 5, Episode 12. We are on to Week 11 of the college football season. As always, your introductionist, Josh Dahl. Welcome.
Introductionist.
That's a word? Thing. That's got to be a thing, right? That just came to me.
I think the word is just host.
Yeah.
But I'm not, I'm a co-host.
Co-host.
But,
Fair.
how about everyone else introduce themselves and then I will Google if introductionist is indeed a word, because if it is, y'all are going to look dumb.
Yeah, well, go for it.
Well, and I am not the introductionist. I'm the only one of the three of us that doesn't have to get up for work tomorrow. So,
thanks for rubbing it in.
AKA, I'm the oldest one here.
Yep, that also works. And then our guest picker, coming all the way from South Minneapolis, Cody. Met you through your husband. Mm-hmm. You were way more fun than he is. And so welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited. What you can't see is that on the backside of my screen, the App State Coastal Carolina game is on. My alma mater game. They're playing on teal turf tonight.
Yep.
So there might be a little back and forth here tonight. But
so
I'm with you.
Were you at the Michigan game?
I was not, but Chris was.
Yeah.
No, I was in Charlotte watching it and leapt over my couch when we blocked that field goal.
Yes.
Up and over, straight over.
That game is, as we have talked often, if you haven't, fans, go back and YouTube it. It was like App State's up. App State's down. App State's up.
Man.
App State's gonna lose. App State wins.
I mean, like you saying go YouTube it made me realize how old I am. That like some of the people that watch this might not have watched that live, which is just make tear. But that game. Okay, first of all, it was the first game to ever air on the Big Ten Network.
Yep.
So like Big Ten Network was
yes.
Big Ten Network was not a thing. And they picked up that game. It was App State versus Michigan in the Big House. Michigan had just won the national championship. They were coming off a huge year.
Yep.
And they were coming into that season ranked number 1. App State had 2 championships in a row. We were, I think 2, maybe 3.
And you were still FCS.
We were still FCS at the time.
I was gonna say,
so we were football championship series. So we were playing our championship in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I've spent more time in the UT Chattanooga Stadium than I ever care to ever again in my life.
Correct.
We were coming off a huge game, but it was their cupcake game. Like they paid us a bunch of money to come play them, thinking that they were going to whip us. And then in the last second, we blocked a field goal and won the game.
Oh my God. It is literally one of the greatest upsets that I can think of in my memory.
In college, college football history. And every year when the cupcake games start coming around, the App State highlights every year roll around. And to this day, I still, when I meet people for work or whatever, and they ask me where I went to school, I'm proud to be able to say Appalachian State. And they go, "Oh, you guys beat Michigan at one time."
Yes,
like,
yes.
And they also have like a school.
Mm-hmm.
Like things you learn there.
No.
Too. Yeah.
It's just a football team that played one great game.
That's right. I didn't get a business degree there or anything.
That is
football.
Well, needless to say, before we get any further, I know our YouTube viewers are just dying to see that intro. So, Dad, please do not withhold it any further.
Okay, here it comes.
Oh,
That was awesome.
O.M. Aka G, that was immaculate. Yes, that was a perfect reference.
Only a true introductionist could have come up with that.
I did Google it, by the way. So very credible source, definitions.net. Seems pretty legit to me.
.net. .ru.
Yep. And then there's one who introduces, particularly people.
You can't use part of the word as a definition. That's not how that works.
It's someone who introduces, aka
right,
an introductionist.
Okay, add it to your business card.
Oh goodness, my resume just keeps getting better and better. If I can add this to it, that's incredible.
Well, beyond your app state, which, by the way, first of all, that when I met your husband and we worked down the hallway together, that I would have contributed to his cool points when he said he was at the game.
He was.
And it was just like, oh my gosh. So
now do you think he was did he say, was he talking a lot of shit at that game? Because usually you go there like you're an underdog, like you expect to lose, so you just talk all the smack before the game starts when it's 0-0.
So asking me that question tells me that you haven't spent a lot of time with Chris. Because what I'm about to say will be a surprise to Dean, is that when he was in college, or that was right after college, we had been out of school for 2 years, because I think that was in 2006. He would get a little hot about things like that, and may have had an altercation or two. Not at that game, but I remember one time we went to a Panthers game. He's gonna kill me when he sees this. We went to a Panthers game one time, it was an App State game because we had season tickets, and some people started leaving in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes left, and it was a really tight game, and he started yelling at them.
Oh wow!
You're like, go back to your seat. Where are you going? I'm like,
Chris, shut up,
There's
man.
a lot of people. Maybe they have somewhere to be. He's chilled out a bit.
Gotcha.
So I don't know how much smack he talks in the big house. I hope a lot.
I was going to say, knowing the outcome of the game and it being a close game, I hope he was loud, obnoxious, because I know.
I'm sure he was.
In my experience, being a Vikings fan, going to Lambeau Field, I am respectfully loud and proud Vikings fan. Doesn't matter where I'm at. Okay.
Well, and they probably didn't even care. They didn't see it as a rivalry. They were probably like, "Oh, cute. You think you're gonna win?" Yeah.
Let's let him just be over there, do his thing.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Talk away, boy.
Yeah. So Cody, beyond App State, you're on here as a guest picker, and which you're obviously really good at what you do. Why are you such a great picker?
It's a really great question, Dean. So I'm
like an interview.
So this is the problem, is that for my job, I do a lot of podcasts and media sometimes. Yep. So now I'm switching back into my work brain of answering questions about truck drivers and why does he care about trucking? No, that's what we're asking me about.
College football is like freight?
Yeah, sure, yeah. And so it's a marketplace, and there's supply and demand, and there's good and bad players, and I always pick the good ones. So I was gonna try and draw a parallel to the fact that I know how to pick really good desserts. And so I'm going to go with I'm a pie person, not a cake person. And I always pick really great pies. And so I feel like I'm really qualified to translate my dessert picking capabilities into my football team picking capabilities. I'm not going with mascots. I'm not going with team colors. If Chris Griggs were here, he would encourage me to go with uniforms because he's got this thing about uniforms.
Yes, he does.
But no, I'm using my business skills, looking at the numbers, Picking the right pie.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm going with.
I was gonna say, not to take anything away, you got me really thinking. I'm like, gosh, am I a pie person or a cake person? Because
You're one or the other, man.
I would have to agree with you. I think I'm more of a pie person, but then I got thinking, I'm like, okay, like I do appreciate cheesecake.
But that's not really a cake.
No.
A cake would have to be like
a pie crust.
A real cake, right? A cheesecake is pie adjacent. Hardcore.
Yes. Okay,
And
good. I was like, it's similar.
And what is cake without really good frosting? But pie, you got to have the base there.
Yeah, and and pie is so versatile. You have so many options.
It can literally be a dinner. It can be a dessert. Chicken pot pie. Maybe some of you heard of that.
Shepherd's pie, also
shepherd's
delightful.
pie. Oh yeah, I was gonna say we did have some shepherd's pie over in Ireland about a year ago, and whoo, the real deal.
Mm-hmm.
Damn,
we have strongly entered pie season.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Both for dinners and desserts and everything in
I've
between.
already made my first pie of the season with.
And what was it?
Apple. Lattice crust, apple, homemade crust.
Oh,
delish.
You're fancy. I am jealous. I bet the lattice is wow. Wow.
So
I didn't even take a picture of it. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And it was
so do you?
Because you know you could do it again.
Do you? Some people are a la mode pie people. Some people are the Dairy Rex a good pie. Where are you at?
I don't want any topping on my pie.
Just
I don't appreciate. I just want straight pie. Like if I have a chocolate meringue pie, I don't put anything on it. Apple pie, I don't do the a la mode thing. Like I don't need melty ice cream sogging up my pastry.
Yeah. I can respect that. I'm sorry. I was gonna say my younger generation, my mind just goes, yeah, you just got a raw dog pie. That's it. Just
I will never, ever get used to people using that term in the wild. Ever.
It's
insane.
Like, it's so bad, but it's so good, and it's really versatile.
And every time somebody says it, I just want to puke a little. I said it in a text to a coworker of mine.
Yeah.
We were talking about this guy on the plane who we knew, and I was like, he looks like the kind of guy who would raw dog a flight.
Yeah.
And I felt awkward and queasy just typing it.
And then you wanted to pull it back.
I wanted to pull it back. I was just like, I crossed a line.
See, you already crossed the line, so it's funny. And the fact that it can just be used for everything is just wonderful.
Well, and the funniest part about it was that like him and I were talking about the term and he didn't know what it meant. Like in the world.
Like the original.
And I work with this guy. In fact, he's my boss right now. I've worked with him for years, and then it just happens that we have a reporting relationship now. But I ended up having to tell him. I was like, I can't let you use this out in public.
Yeah.
Like I have to tell you what it actually means.
Yeah, what you mean, what you're saying.
So
was that telling my dad?
Was that a beverage conversation or
many?
Okay. Oh my God.
I think that was like 3 glasses of wine and a cocktail in. I was like, all right, here we go. This is
just let me lay it out on the line before you go any further.
We're gonna clean it up a bit here. And finishing out on pies, you will appreciate this, Cody, because this solidifies. Josh, see if you remember, what was the birthday pie that Lucille made me when I was growing up?
Oh, no, I know this. Actually, I feel fairly confident. Yeah. Do you want me to answer or do you want to put it again?
No, tell me.
Oh, lemon meringue.
Lemon meringue.
Oh,
Grandma made me
pie.
Lemon meringue pie for my birthday. Yeah. And because that was what I wanted. And
you didn't want a cake.
Yep. So there.
My mom makes me chocolate cheesecake for my birthday every year.
Ooh,
That's my
wonderful.
favorite.
That's good stuff. So we know, Dad's favorite pie. Me personally, my mom made an exceptional banana cream pie.
Yes.
Where literally she would make it, and me and my brother, my two stepbrothers, would all eat it within like a day or a half a day. And then she literally would make another one for the next day. And then she's like, "You guys went through 2 pies in 2 days. Like, I'm done."
That's it. We're done here.
It was so unbelievable, just sweet, perfect,
It was
amazing.
good.
That's one I've never made. I've never made a banana cream because Chris doesn't like bananas, and so I would be stuck eating the whole thing by myself.
Chris has issues.
There are worse things.
Yeah, I was gonna say not a horrible thing. Be like, what? I swear you like banana cream. Well, sorry.
Pie for breakfast for me.
Cody, what is that being said? What is your favorite? Like, if you just need like my absolute best, I need it. What is it?
So it's my grandmother's old-fashioned chocolate with meringue topping. So it's like a chocolate pudding pie, but homemade chocolate custard.
Of course.
And then a baked meringue on the top. I mean, it's nuts.
When you make that, send me a text and I'll trade Spotted Cow or whatever you want for some of that.
Okay.
He's gonna empty out the bank account for that recipe because
next time you're coming up, I'll make you a chocolate pie. You don't even have to pay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Speaking of dessert, Josh, let's look at what you did last week.
I'm just gonna say right here, I called my shot, said that I'm gonna be the MJ flu game, and I answered. This is the best week I've had.
It is
all season, and
you should get the flu every week.
Yeah, that Purdue pick was kind of dumb. Whatever, just had to separate myself, but I'm feeling good. Getting 7 points. Getting 2 points on the guest picker, getting 4 points against you, Dad. That was a big week that needed to tell people that I might be for real. Not 100% convinced, but I might be the real deal.
You had a really good week, and what really threw and it threw Dollalytics off, and it threw the spreads also, but the first 6 road teams lost or won. The first 6 home teams lost. Excuse me. Let me rephrase that right. I mean, road teams were 6-0 going into the evening.
They're winning big.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, I'm riding high. That was just all off of feel. But it does give me hope. I do need to continue to put numbers like that if I want to have a chance of catching Cody and the guests to maybe potentially be a champion contender. But, it's one good week. You got to answer it. Is it all just for nothing? Was it a lucky week? We'll see.
So Cody, Darla is watching because she keeps a very close eye on the guests because she's very proud of the guests. So
she should be. She should be. I mean, Dollalytics really got it handed to it from Gen AI. Imagine that.
Yeah.
The robot is smarter than the spreadsheets.
So that's when people when our guests are like, "Oh, dang, Dean, why don't you go to Vegas with this?" Right there.
Why.
3 out of 8.
That's why.
Because we're losing money that week. It had a good couple of weeks, slightly above average, and then all of a sudden it drops a 3 on you like that. It's tough.
And in the AI process, because that was a last minute ad, and it was, you talk about creative search wording to have it give you an answer because it doesn't want to feed the gambling animal.
Nope. Yeah, prompt engineering is a real thing. We should all take a class on prompt engineering because
thank goodness
that
for
is
that.
The future.
But I did figure a workaround, so we got it to give us an actual potential score. So
Yep, and then we broke it down. You listened to the episode. We did it very mathematically, which I was very happy with ourselves, Dad, about, this is the most fair, the confidence pick. We did a great job. And then we flipped a coin, had AI flip a coin, because why not? AI's picking, AI should flip the coin. So, pretty standard week, I would say, for any other picker, except for now, Cody, we got the real deal here. We got the professionals. So let's get to it.
And this week's the spreads are close to all over the board.
Yeah, they don't
just wild. There's only one that was close. I pulled this on Monday, or two that are close. I think I pulled spreads on Monday. I don't know if they've moved since then. I wrote it all down in my handy dandy.
Ooh, yeah, there you go.
Is that legal to write it on C.H. Robinson letterhead?
You can write whatever you want on this thing, man.
Okay.
Burn it after.
That's fine. Right. Yeah, these spreads are a little uneasy. I kind of looking through, kind of mentally preparing where I'm gonna go, and yeah, it was tough. So let's just get right to it. Iowa playing great, another big win, traveling all the way to the West Coast to face UCLA. Iowa's favored.
Who hates Iowa?
We hate Iowa. But Iowa has been covering. Cody, are the Iowa Hawkeyes going to cover against UCLA, coming off a big win against Nebraska?
6.5 is the spread.
Yep, and they're crossing 2 time zones.
I'm gonna go with no.
Yep.
They're not.
Because what type of pie?
They're out of their. How many Iowegians do you know have spent time in LA?
That's a good.
I'm gonna go with a half, maybe.
Yeah.
California's a hard place to travel into, and so I think the time zone thing has a huge factor.
And they're just going to be like jaw dropping, be like, "Wow, this is what a beach looks like. These buildings
Where's
are more than, these buildings are more than 2 to 3 stories tall. This is crazy."
Yeah. And if I'm going back to the default, I think the Bruins are scarier than the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, that's a valid point. Yeah, in a battle there, Bruins. I guess physically you probably win, but those Hawkeyes, they can be sneaky sometimes. This is tough for me.
Josh. No, give me more detail on a sneaky Hawkeye.
A sneaky Hawkeye.
Because they fly through the air, they fly very fast. They have talons, and a beak. They don't really have arms, but a Bruin, they got everything. They're just like a big, large, stronger human being.
Totally.
But like a Hawkeye can, swoop in, quick, swift tack, out of there, gone.
But especially the Iowa Hawkeye looks like it's been on a bender.
Yeah, you gotta watch out. Well, I mean, they live in the state of Iowa. That is, that's just standard. That's how you get through a day. You just have a few too many beers and then go play football.
Which, Josh, Bruin versus a Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
Yeah, this is tough. I'm going to talk about the actual teams of players, of human being players on these teams.
I don't have enough experience to talk about actual players.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I got no name. But Iowa is on a hot streak of putting up 40 points over the past 2 weeks, which is incredible for Iowa's sake. UCLA, I said it last week, is a very underrated team and a tough team to play, very athletic. And they, too, have been doing well in preventing spreads for the past 2 weeks. So now you have a hot offense in Iowa, but also gaining kind of a momentum UCLA team. I don't know what to pick is the tough part because I think Iowa will win the game, but I do not think it'll be by 6. Therefore, there you go. Answer my own question. UCLA. Bruins will, eventually kill a Hawkeye. That's going to be it. They're going to take some pecks. They're going to take some talons. They're going to take some wounds. But in the end, Bruins will prevent the spread. They will not die from this. So that's good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, big thumbs down.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Don't forget the bubbles and the rain cloud.
And the rain cloud. I haven't seen the double. I haven't seen the rain cloud. Those Mac users.
These Dollalytics and these are the extremes. Takeaways and turnovers, takeaways and losses, and penalties. And these are the extremes. The Hawkeyes are number 1 in the fewest penalties. UCLA is 113.
Yeah.
Hawkeyes are number 10 in turnover takeaways. UCLA is 107.
Mm-hmm.
But what scares me is I'm going with Iowa to win and cover, barely cover. It's going to be 7 points to win this game.
It's gonna make you nervous. I know it will.
Oh, it is. But it'll come down to UCLA making a really dumb mistake down the stretch. UCLA has the studs. They just haven't put it together, and they're not going to put it together this time.
See, they have been putting it together for 2 weeks now. They're in a hot
streak. Not against a team with a winning record.
I'm just saying, all right? It's called momentum.
Details.
Right? Yeah, minor details. Thank you, Cody. See, that's okay. As soon as we go the same way and he goes the other way, then he just gets all high and mighty and thinks we're wrong. And then Cody, will do us the honors of next week. When you are not here, I will tell him we told you so.
Okay, deal.
Yep. All right. Cody, great pick, by the way. We're off to a great start.
Thanks for that.
Yep. Next up, big ol' spread. Big, uncomfortable spread. Purdue traveling to Ohio State. Ohio State favored by 38 points.
Ooh, it's gone up.
It's
31.5 on Monday.
It's big. That's a hefty spread. It makes me uncomfortable. So I'm curious to see what you think is going to happen.
I mean, like you'd have to be living in a cave to pick the Boilermakers in this game. Like there's no
on the spread though. I was gonna say, so you think about it. So this is my brain breaks it down. And goes, they're going to need 10-point differential for 4 quarters straight to cover the spread. That is a touchdown and a field goal every single quarter versus no points at all to cover. Now it can be done.
Have you seen Purdue play recently?
Yeah, they just took Northwestern to overtime. Yeah.
While that is fact.
Moment, Cody.
You speak truths. However, I'm going with the Buckeyes to cover as much as it pains me.
Yeah. Because you hate cheering for them, but
I do Yeah, but I think they can pull it off.
Okay, Cody, our random question that me and Josh and Alex always talk about, is there that random neighbor or person nearby or when you drive that's got that stupid Buckeye flag out in front of their house?
Not a one.
Oh,
wow. I was gonna say because so they may not be in the neighborhood or in the but what we're saying is there's always that Buckeye fan at the airport. You'll see.
Oh, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. But no, not in my hood. The strangest thing we have in my hood is that we have a house that has a Carolina and an NC State flag that they fly simultaneously.
Is that legal?
Well, it's house divided, and it's not Duke and Carolina.
Okay.
It's Carolina.
Okay.
So it's not as severe of a rivalry.
Yeah, true.
But it's very random for South Minneapolis.
It's
nearby the Wu-Tang house that flies the Wu-Tang is forever. flag on a full-size flagpole in their front yard.
Yes. That is awesome, by the way. I was gonna say that is random in South Minneapolis. Now, that being said, I too have a house divided flag from college, but that's Alabama Auburn, because when you live in a house of 9 guys and Alabama and Auburn, in the early 2010s, rivalry still doing hot and doing great. Obviously, I had to buy a flag and hang it up in the living room, because why not?
I went to college or high school in Atlanta, and the joke was that all you needed to get into Auburn was a pulse.
Yep. Yeah. I also heard that. Not going to say great things about down south education. It's not difficult to get in.
Georgia was 49th in the country for high schools and public education. So I'm not bragging either.
Yeah.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
Exactly.
It was eye-opening when I moved down south and saw college curriculum, and I'm like, that's it, huh? This is literally the equivalent of my 9th grade English class. And I'm not being facetious or over the top. This is literally homework I did as a 9th grader in my high school English class. And you guys are doing it as sophomores and juniors in college.
Boys can play some ball, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
That I will never refute. That is very true. You know what? Where they lack in one area, they make up in the other. It's wonderful.
So, Josh, you going to go with Purdue again?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Purdue again. I think that's a huge spread. I'm scared of it. The backups will be in the second half. We'll see what happens, but that's a massive spread, and I'm scared of it. So, therefore, I will back away.
Well, Dalytics has Ohio State winning by 47, which is definitely more than 38. And then, I'm also in historical data of this season, and Purdue's only win was against Indiana State, to which the next week they got beat 66-7. Last week was almost a win, so they are going to get thumped today.
Well, yes, they will get thumped, but I'm hoping they'll get thumped by 35. Instead of 40. We know the outcome. It's ridiculous, but again, they could be the new App State versus Michigan, Purdue at Ohio State.
Oh, really?
You never know.
Oh, hell will have frozen over before that happens.
Pass that on to your husband, that one.
I'm sure Michigan fans said the same thing when App State came to town.
But you know what? I'll take it. I will lose this pick.
Yeah.
If that means that the Buckeyes lose.
That's true.
I'm fine.
Well, wouldn't that be?
Everybody wins.
Yeah, that is true. And I got a neighbor that flies a Buckeye flag, and you know what? Every single time I'm like, I feel I need to talk to them and be like, why? Why? And no offense, you're probably very nice people, but I see that flag and I already don't like you. And I like everyone, but that I cannot get past. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Well, enough talking about the Buckeyes. They stink. I hate them, and go Purdue. All right. Minnesota. Oh, Minnesota's hot right now.
Minnesota, the third hottest team in the Big Ten.
That's what they say. They are traveling on the road to the Rutgers. Okay, I got to watch out. Gophers, Rutgers, and Minnesota is favored by 6. And I'm just going to go out and say for everyone, I also believed in Minnesota last week when they were favored by 3 points, and they went out and won by 8. So for all you Gopher fans out there thinking, sometimes my pick's not the way, I went with them, believed in them, got it done. Cody, are they going to win by 6 points against Rutgers? They're on a hot streak right now.
Yes. Elite.
Mm-hmm.
Row that boat, PJ.
Elite? You're putting them on elite level.
Elite.
And what's the flag in front of your house, Cody?
I think right now, we don't have a flag because we're getting our porch fixed. But right now, it would probably be a Timberwolves flag.
Okay.
until Saturday when it would get switched out for a Gophers flag.
Yeah.
And then because the Wolves are playing the Bulls tonight, and then go back to Wolves and then Gophers for the weekend. But we're getting
So
our
you
port.
guys do change your flag frequently. Is that true?
Chris Griggs changes it.
Chris
He has
Griggs
like
does.
calendar invites for when he changes it.
Oh my god! Because I'm sitting there, I'm like, that's a lot of work. But like T-Wolves, Gophers, T-Wolves, Gophers, Vikings.
Yeah, actually, and this week it would probably be a Minnesota State flag.
Sure.
Probably, yeah. But again, we're getting our porch turned into a real room, so
Oh dang!
no flagpole out there right now.
Ah, damn! How are they going to know who you cheer for?
I'll figure it out.
They're just going to have to go off from memory from previous years.
That's right.
I couldn't agree more. The Gophers are playing great. Their defense, I love that young buck safety. What was his name? Coy or whatever it is.
Coy Perch.
Yeah, Coy. Oh my gosh, he's just a beautiful idiot. Sometimes, he's just a phenomenal player. He's young. He's just out there balling. And it's great. It's so fun to watch. He's got a lot to learn. And I hope I was going to say, I love saying this. Like, I think he's got potential to make it to the NFL if he just continues to keep growing. But he's just a young puppy dog out there, just flying all over the field. So he's super fun to watch on defense. Offense is clicking. We're putting points up. We're putting stops out there. We're getting turnovers. Dude, the Gophers are fun to watch right now. They're kind of just turning their shit around. From a couple of close games earlier in the season. It's fun to see him on a win streak. So, hell yeah, why not? Keep going, Gophers.
Bring it.
It'll be interesting to see what Gopher former coach, Ethan Kalikmanis, does. He's not throwing interceptions. He's passing the ball okay. The problem with Rutgers, their defense is so weak and they give up plays. And Brosmer for the Gophers is in a passing zone. So too many weapons. And between the Gophers offense finding itself, I love the Gophers defense. Joyner, what a beast. And Gophers will win. Gophers will cover. Dalytics has it by 10.5.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say there's Gallic Manis on the Rutgers, like he is going to want to beat them to prove that he was not the problem type deal. But so he's gonna have that extra motivation, which is kind of nerve-wracking because those people, any game, any sport, doesn't matter. You have that little extra motivation. Sometimes you can do incredible things. So that does make me a little nervous to try and prove something. But I have faith in the current team that they're going to make it happen. Well, beautiful. Just like that, 3 picks in, Cody, and we're already halfway done.
That's right. It's
incredible. Right. Time flies when we're having a great time.
How is the App State game going?
Not great.
Okay.
17-10. I mean, yeah, App's not playing super well right now, from what I can tell. I mean, would you play great on teal turf?
No.
It's like it'd be so distracting.
That is true. Yeah, not my cup of tea. No, I'm
all
all about
Carolina Chanticleers, also known as the beach chickens.
The beach chickens.
That's what we call them. Beach chickens.
That's what we call those freaking losers over there. Beach chickens over there. Mm-hmm. I like that. I'm gonna start having to use that.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, man. The hottest. I think the hottest team in the Big Ten right now. We got Michigan traveling to Indiana. Now, Indiana is only currently ranked 13, thus being undefeated because their schedule is not tough. But they have been winning and they have been doing great. Indiana is favored by 14.5 points against Michigan. Now, I'm listening, but my battery's getting low, so therefore I'm going to step out of view. I'm listening.
Go get your charger.
I need an extension cord to charge this bad boy up.
Because why would you plan ahead? And...
Well, like it's not like we just called him. We're like, hey,
hey, let's do this tonight.
You know what? I don't want to hear it. Okay,
Brady said he was listening.
y'all mofos, just start living with a baby again and see how fun life is.
Yeah, he's all in with this little over 5-month-old.
Some would say I'd get in trouble with police if I stopped taking care of my son.
That's a thing. Yeah. That's a
Now,
thing.
let's just be
that's illegal.
True story.
Keeping it PG and not going down that route. I
already swore we can move it up to PG-13.
Okay, 13.
Yeah.
If the season ended today, Indiana would be in the playoffs. They are number 8 in the playoff ranking, which is
awesome. They have a football team? We're not talking about basketball?
Right?
Who knew?
It's a wild game.
And someone when game day was there and they said, "Where's the stadium?" It's next to Assembly Hall.
Yeah.
Next to the place we play basketball.
Yes.
We gotta reference that, obviously.
Michigan's really had quite the fall.
They're not doing good right now.
They're not doing well at all. But I don't think they're doing so poorly that they're going to get beat by more than 14. So I'm going to go with Indiana, and they're not going to cover.
Yeah. See, I don't disagree with you, Cody. I don't disagree with you. I think because I look back and go, okay, you're right. Michigan is bad. But, Oregon, number 1 team in the nation currently, beat them by 21. Now,
that's not a ton.
Yeah, it's not a lot. It's not a beatdown. I don't think Indiana is at Oregon's capacity right now. I love that they are undefeated, and I love the hype and excitement and everything about that. And just last week's episode, I'm like, hell yeah, Indiana covering for sure. But the more hype they get, now they come at me with a 14.5-point spread. And that's the part that makes me unwell. Because Michigan, they're not garbage. They're not good, but they're not a garbage team. They know how to play football. But I am a man of my word. I will continue. And the famous words of gamblers say, you never leave a heater. Indiana's on a heater. We are going to go with Indiana winning and covering. You got to go with them. They got all the confidence. They got the swag. Let's do it. We're going to go.
Do they even recruit for football, or do they just take any of the basketball failures?
This year,
is this just happen?
They just took the head coach and all the good players from James Madison and transferred them to Indiana. And that is why they're doing good. So do they recruit? No.
But you know what?
They just get a convoy of James.
Having been in the conference with James Madison, holy crap.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see that. It's like James Madison, Richmond.
Yeah.
Furman. Who knew? So, okay. Well, then maybe.
They're doing great. I was going to say, they're clicking. They believe in themselves. And you know what?
Can't make that up.
I was going to say, no, absolutely. You playing with confidence and they believe? Absolutely. Again, Ted Lasso. Believe. You got to believe on that one. And they do. And they're playing great.
This one makes me uncomfortable because Dollalytics definitely has Indiana winning by a lot. And
how much, Dean?
31.
Wait, they have them winning by 31
by
points.
31.
See this?
You say they like it's not Dean's spreadsheet. Well, Dollalytics is a person.
Well, it is kind of a group of people. I don't know.
Hey.
Okay. Thanks, Cody.
Hey, anytime.
You created the magic.
Yeah, that's true. The thing I heard on my podcast yesterday is, and I mean, just listen to this. Is Indiana looking past Michigan for the game next week against Ohio State?
Absolutely not.
I mean,
But like, who would have ever thought
exactly.
they would say that question?
Who would have strung those words together?
No, I was just like,
Indiana.
I heard it. It's like,
Michigan.
so we're staying. It's at home. It's in Bloomington. It's next to Assembly Hall. And Indiana will win, will cover, and when they win by 30, you all owe me a pie.
Yeah.
Deal.
Oh goodness, back to
Deal.
You don't want me.
I mean, I can pay up on that bet. I don't know about Josh's. He might be what's that? Baker Square stopping his future.
That's a valid point, Cody. My baking skills are not great, but cooking skills pristine.
Top notch.
Yeah,
That's
give me
because of your dad.
some grill. I was gonna say I don't know. I like grilling. I love using my cast iron skillet. I mean, just
do you also have a solar hot wing cooker?
A hot wing cooker.
Solar powered sausage cooker.
I will use all the energy and resources besides the sun. I will use fire.
Delicious.
I will use heat. I will use everything but solar power because that is reliable.
It works, dude.
A little bit.
It works.
I know it works. Unless it's cloudy, then it don't. Then it don't work. And
that never happens here.
I was gonna say it's not. I guess it doesn't lead to a loss. Past couple of tailgates, it's been a little cloudy. Whatever. Just means they take a little longer to cook. I drink a couple more beers and feel a little bit funnier.
Better.
Yeah, I was gonna say then the tailgate and everything else gets a little bit more fun.
Of the three of us, I know where the goat is for cooking. Cody, I've had 3 of her meals, and
yeah. When you're hot, you're hot. You got it.
I had good teachers.
So not only can you bake, but I was gonna say just cooking in general, dinners, lunch, everything. You got it.
I mean, my mom was an amazing cook. My grandmother was an amazing cook. And I enjoy it. I actually came home early today because it was dead in the office, and I made black bean soup for dinner.
Nice.
So everybody's fed. But it's fun. I like it.
I was gonna say, especially when it just comes together and you're like, all right, you kind of look at a recipe and you're like, okay, I'm gonna take the meat from this, but I'm gonna tweak it where I think it may be better for me, and maybe Ashley might like it more. And that's the best part about it is you can make it yours. That's why cooking is wonderful. And you know what? Me still learning, trying to get better and everything like that. There are meals that my wife is the best, most honest critic, and she'd be like, this does not taste good. And I'm like, agreed. But I'm too stubborn. I will eat this because I'm hungry, but I will not do what I did tonight in the future. She's like, good, please never
learn.
The best was Chris, when I think it was his first year, and he said, you want to go together on lunch bunch, and once a week through the year, a teacher, if you're in the lunch bunch group, you bring lunch for the people that sign up for it. So you supply lunch one week, and then you eat the lunch the rest of the week. And I was like, I think I'll make this, and why don't you make this? And he goes, well, why don't we just get it at Devani's or something? I said, well, why don't you make this? And he goes, well, I said, don't you cook? And he goes, no, Cody does that.
No.
Hell no.
Absolutely not. And am I going to accept something that I am going to put on her plate? May not end well.
He did, because that one time for lunch bunch, I ended up making a bunch of Cuban pork and black beans.
Yes.
I remember, because it was like 2 pork shoulders, because I had to feed like 20 people. So like 2 pork shoulders and 2 pounds of black beans.
What an asshole.
I know, but I mean, to be fair, like I won't say we didn't hold any back. Like we also ate that amazing, delicious Cuban pork.
Correct.
Like
I remember that.
That's what I'm saying is like I can just picture Greg's.
But I do give him
no. I'll sign up for lunch and everything like that. And then he comes home and goes, Cody, I'm gonna apologize ahead of time, but I'm gonna need you to whip up a great lunch for about 25 people, and I need it tomorrow. Go.
Well, luckily he gives me like a month notice.
Okay.
I'm
good.
fine with that.
I was imagining he comes home on Wednesday and goes, yeah, we're going to need this by Friday. Thanks.
Yeah, it'll be one of these.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Feed him a couple of those and tell him.
Yeah, see how that goes for you.
Number one.
Okay,
speaking of number one, the number one team in the country.
Nice transition.
Hey, how about that? Maryland traveling to Oregon, number one team in the country. Go Ducks. Big spread, 26 points. Will they cover? Sorry if I'm speaking too loud. This microphone is right in my face.
Oh, no, you weren't loud before that. All right, so Maryland loses to the Gophers by 25 last week.
Yeah. and they're on the road.
And that was the Gophers. No disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with Oregon's going to cover the hell out of them.
Yeah. Yeah. This one's
Maryland to Oregon a very long way.
Correct. Straight East Coast to West Coast. They are traveling a lot of time zones. That is going to be difficult. They're on, like, nothing is going Maryland's way. They are severe underdogs. They are traveling across country. They are going to the number one team in the nation right now. The only thing,
mascot's a turtle.
Yeah, your mascot's, yeah, it's a terp. It's a terp.
Talk about a disturbed animal.
Yeah, it's tough.
And also, it's like it's the battle of the lame mascots, the terrapin and the duck.
Yeah, but at least, you know,
Griggs
will appreciate the uniforms of Oregon. I'm sure you know.
Oh, I'm sure they'll be over the top.
Yeah,
always over the top.
And nothing that you've ever seen.
He doesn't appreciate them. They're too flashy. No, he is a very traditional uniform.
He is.
See, I can respect like
colors at home. I don't like the contrasting top bottom. Like he has a whole thing. So no, he hates Oregon's shtick.
Okay, because sometimes I will agree with him on that. Like this is stupid. This is dumb. But at the same time, sometimes they just put something together, and I look at that and I go, "Damn, that looks good.
That looks sharp."
That looks really sharp." But I do appreciate just like the classic, traditional. You know, just plain and simple, just nothing flashy on the top, just color, number, same color pants or something like that. Like there is something nostalgic about that. Like you look at Penn State, they're just navy blue, white pants, one stripe on their helmet, like simple. Something about it is so sharp.
Yeah, I just Googled their unis for this week. They're pretty bad.
Oh.
Green top, yellow shorts.
Okay, yeah,
yellow pants,
just
yellow helmet, green stripe.
Yeah, too much.
Josh, though, you and I and Alex, we went to watch K-State in Oregon at the Fiesta Bowl. Their fans are very, very, very passionate.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
The one fan we saw, very bad at Dizzy Bat.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Did eat shit on pavement. So I've seen my fair share.
That's not what I expected you to say. I could have lost $1 million betting on what you were going to say next.
Yeah, no.
Really bad.
They will not compete with Midwesterners, specifically like Minnesota and Wisconsin people, for Dizzy Bats because we're already like 10 beers deep and we'll hit 11 and we will
nobody noticed.
Bomb a home run for Dizzy Bat. I can only imagine this guy's probably 5 beers deep, and
it was bad. It was uncomfortable. It was slow. It was awkward. It was
the step, bam.
Oh gosh. Oh geez.
So,
He's going
Josh,
over.
Before your pick,
Yeah.
now that you brought up K-State, Oregon, remember walking with roadies to the gate?
Yeah. Well, we were walking around the stadium. We weren't going to the gate. We were just walking around. And I may or may not have been 20 years old, Cody. Okay.
Oh no.
So, I'm having a grand old time. Meanwhile, not that, Alex will ever listen, but Alex had the shits. He had the bubble guts from the night before.
Yeah.
He spent a lot of time in some nasty porta potties. And you know what? That just happens. And he was a champion about it. He's like, okay, I feel good walking around. He's like, all right, I need a porta. Gotta get a porta potty. Gotta get it now. So that was his state. So he's usually my drinking partner in crime kind of a deal. So he was kind of pulling it back. We were making friends. I was given a beer. Alex was given a beer. They were both Bud Lights. We were friendly. Alex maybe took a little sippy poo, and then we walked away, and Alex is like, I can't stomach this. A little sippy poo, just like this.
And meanwhile, your dad is getting pretty excited to get into the stadium.
We weren't going into the stadium.
No, but we were
walking around the stadium. We were making a lap.
It was the process of getting to the. It's all a process.
Well, I don't know what. Clearly, we were not on the same process.
We will be once you tell the story.
You're wandering around with 2 beers.
Wandering around with 2 beers, and all of a sudden, a cop stops me and goes, "Hey, come here." And I'm sitting there going, shit. Like, I'm at a tailgate. What the hell is going on? And yeah, what's going on? Looks like got a problem here with this. And I'm dual fisting tall boys of Bud Light. And all of a sudden I'm like, shit. I'm 20 years old. I'm busted. Literally, beers are cracked in hand. And I'm like, I'm going to get a minor in front of my dad before an exciting game. We're going to be in ultimate high. And all of a sudden, I'm going to get a lecture all night and for the rest of my life. And that's what.
It's not like he just happened upon you holding 2 beers and he was like, Josh, what are you doing?
Yeah,
like,
no.
The whole time.
Yep, exactly. And all of a sudden, he goes, my lights. And I'm like, good one, officer. Yeah, you're right. These were given to me. Thanks. And yeah. So needless to say, I was shitting bricks for a moment and then walking away. Don't worry, my buzz came right on back, and we did eventually get into the stadium on my dad's agenda. Yeah, it was a rather nerve-wracking Fiesta Bowl for him.
It was nerve-wracking because I was this close to getting in, and my son I was going to have to go somewhere and bail him out or something. But
they weren't going to arrest me. They were just going to slap a big old fine on me.
Okay, your pick.
Yeah, who are you picking?
Me? Goodness.
Turtles or Ducks?
Oh, Ducks, for sure. Dude, Oregon's on a hot streak. They will continue to win. Maryland stinks. Oregon is good. Therefore, Oregon Ducks winning.
By more than 25?
Not so fast.
Easily. Winning and covering. Easily. They're winning by 35.
Not so fast.
If you pick Turtles, that's probably why your internet cut out.
Yeah, that could be. But Oregon they've paved their way to the playoff. They play nobody. They play Maryland. They play Wisconsin. They play Washington. They've got the toughest part of their schedule. They're going to get that comfortable lead, which they will win easily, but they're only going to win by 22 and a half. There you go.
I see.
Okay.
I see where you're coming from. I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah, but see that's the part where I think part of me is like, yeah, I see where you're coming from, but you got to keep those guys hungry because you know your next game is going to get to a Big Ten championship. You know you're going to beat these teams. You got to have those guys firing on all cylinders. Where yes, risk of injury and things like that, but I'm truly convinced and believe that like you coach them up like this is the Big Ten championship every single week. Like we need to dominate. We need to get better because we are going to go against Ohio State again, or we're going to go against Indiana again.
Indiana.
And
who knew?
yeah,
Who knew?
knew I was going to talk about Indiana potentially Big Ten championship.
Let's just take a step back. If Indiana wins against Michigan and pulls a rabbit out of something and beats Ohio State,
yeah,
they're in the playoff again in the Big
There's
Ten
a lot of
championship.
pie changing hands.
Yeah,
in that scenario.
Yeah, I will drive to. I was gonna say to the cities for pie if Indiana is beating Ohio State. If that's what it takes. Oh
Okay,
goodness.
well, sorry to steal
You're
that
gonna
one
go
from you guys.
You're gonna go with the Terps. That's okay. That's just fine. All right, and last but not least, poor Penn State coming off a loss. That's okay. They're still ranked. They're still in the playoff run. Washington finally gets to travel to the East Coast, playing Penn State, coming off a tough game against Ohio State. Penn State, 13.5 points. Cody.
Rough week for Penn State last week. They're at home. They've got Washington traveling cross country.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Penn State, but I don't think they're going to cover.
Ooh. The way you build that up, I was like, all right.
But I don't think they're going to cover. Yeah. They were held really tight last week.
Yeah.
I think they're pissed.
Right.
But yeah, I don't think so.
See?
No, I don't think so.
Therefore, I will take Penn State and the points. Absolutely. I think they they did better than what I expected them against Ohio State. It was a close game. It was a 6-point game. It was wonderful. But they are going to severely outmatch those. Penn State is here for the real deal to get into the playoffs. So I'll take Penn State and the points.
Okay.
And Penn State, it's simple. They're not playing Michigan. They're not playing Ohio State. Penn State plays well against everybody else. So they're clearly not playing either of those teams. Dalytics has Penn State by 18. That is definitely more than 13.5. Oh my gosh. When you watch this, you're not going to appreciate the editing masterpiece that I've pulled together.
That is true. It is going to be some serious editing.
All those technical difficulty signs, just ignore those right past them.
Yeah,
just good stuff coming.
And you guys think it's easy being retired?
You know what? Yeah.
Yes, I do.
It is compared to my life right now. Yeah, your life is pretty freaking easy.
Okay. Yeah. That was
Penn State.
Didn't want to open that can of worms, but clearly did.
You got your pick in.
So we got the pick in. Cody, we are at the point of the show for the confidence pick. Which one of those picks are going to be worth an extra point that you just know this is App State beating Michigan at the Big House?
Oh man, this is a tough one. I'm going Gophers. I'm going to go full homer. Go Gophers.
Yeah. Damn it. I was hoping you weren't going to say that for the fact that I was like, maybe I can make up an extra point from you on there. But
I know who Josh is going with. I totally know who Josh is going with.
He already said what his confidence pick was.
But it's between Minnesota and Indiana because I've rolled with Indiana as a confidence pick for 2 weeks in a row now, and they've hit, which is great. But part of me sits there and goes, I think Minnesota will win by a touchdown. Like I just feel that's an easy extra point to have. But I got to make moves because if I choose a confidence pick that Cody picks, then it's really not giving me much benefit. So we will continue.
This is your internal monologue is going external.
That's what it is. I do it almost every single week.
He does.
You got it. You got it, Dad. Indiana, 2 weeks in a row, make it 3. They're playing hot. Michigan is hot garbage. Therefore, Hoosiers. Again, I'm going to keep riding until I don't hit it. And if they keep hitting it, you know my confidence pick week after week after week.
Well, I have to look at Dollalytics and see which one has the greatest gap. And unfortunately, my heart wants to go with Indiana or with the Gophers like you. And then the second pick is Indiana, but that's not it. Watch this. I'm going to get a 2-point lead right away. Iowa to win, cover, and confidence.
Gosh,
wow.
That is going to be a kick in the groin when UCLA straight up wins that game.
Yeah.
And see, that's what I'm saying is right now I'm going with what's getting me back into the race right now. And Dad, you are making it easier. Cody, you are making it harder because I did want to go Minnesota, but I'm like, I gotta make moves. I gotta get something that's gonna give me points. And I picked a game that obviously we had different picks, and if that hits my way, that's +2 me. Whereas if Minnesota wins, that's only +1 you. So
that's the math.
Breaking it down from mathematics standpoint, I gotta make some
ones
moves
and
here.
twos. That's how it works.
That's what works.
Mm-hmm. Not just a hat rack up here, Cody. Not just a hat rack.
So, Cody, what did you learn tonight?
Oh boy.
I learned that you endorse underage drinking.
Yeah. Right underneath his nose.
I didn't know there was beer in those cans.
Yeah, he thought he thought they were Bud Light Zeros. Apparently,
I went to Key West with my dad one time, and I was in college, and I had a fake ID. And I'll remind you, my dad was an FBI agent, and we went to Key West, and I handed the bartender my fake ID that wasn't even me; it was somebody else.
Correct.
And she looks at it. And she looks over at him, and he goes, and she just slides it across to me and gives me my drink.
Oh yeah.
He was like, "Don't pull that thing out again."
Yeah, stop that.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, don't worry. My dad was also around. I think it had to have been probably my first bachelor party that I was a part of. My brother-in-law. Now brother-in-law, and Dean and I were with him and a bunch of his friends. It was a great bachelor party. Absolutely loved it. And it was in like June, and my birthday's in July. So I'm like, I am literally again 1 month away from being close. 21. So not quite enough. And it was just a running joke because my fake ID, it was a Wisconsin ID. It wasn't me. Yep, Sam.
Wisconsin, do you even need an ID?
Yeah,
you could be like 14 and go drink. What do they care?
Maybe to drive. Maybe that's why they have IDs, just to identify who can drive and who cannot. I think that's what it was
Who's
for.
Snowmobile endorsed and who is not?
Yeah, gun safety and everything.
Yep, it's an umbrella.
That's it. Yeah. And for the rest of that bachelor party, I was known as Sam, and I was like, "This is great." We went on a pedal pub and everything, and I'm like, it passed everything. It was wonderful. So Yeah, it was, we made it past now at the ripe age of 32. I really don't have to worry about, I do get carded. The long hair does bring my age down, which is, I'm going to hold on to my youth for dear life.
There you go.
And if I would have known, I was going to say, Cody, if you and I could have been matching hairstyles and everything.
You could have gone man bun.
Yeah, that's my go-to work look, right there. Yeah, absolutely. But boy, I got some length here.
Cody, it looks better on you.
Oh, thanks, Dean.
Dad, I think you should grow out your hair.
Yeah, the silver long hair, I don't think it's...
My dad did it.
I got some silvers in here. You can't quite tell because maybe a little bit of grease in the shining, but believe it or not, looking after my 5-month-old, I didn't get a shower today, and I was just lucky enough to brush my teeth. So
Proud
I'm happy
of you.
about that. Thank you. Yeah.
Did you eat? Really, that's always the second thing.
Pretty much just snacks. Not. I didn't have a full meal until dinner. Let's just say that.
Terrorists, little tiny terrorists.
Wow.
Little adorable, cute, farting terrorists.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a great way to put it.
They're only cute because if they weren't cute, you wouldn't keep them.
That is a valid point. He is a handsome man, and he also has got a full head of hair.
Yes.
Since the day he was born. So he is everyone's like, oh, he looks like Ashley. I'm like, yes, he does. But
in the hair.
That noggin, you know where that hair is coming from.
Because somebody had a lot of hair when he was born.
Darn right. Mm-hmm. Oh, goodness. Well, Cody, despite all the technical difficulties and everything like that, we still managed to have a great time and another great episode here at the podcast. As always, thank you so much for coming on. It was great to have you. We'll definitely have you again, without a doubt, if you ever want to come on again.
You let me know. I'll be here. And maybe we'll have a guest appearance by Mr. Griggs.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Well,
you can come in and make a pick or two.
Yeah, if you have good picks, make sure to rub it in his face saying I'm a phenomenal picker and you're not. So Nana boo boo.
I will.
Stick your head in doo-doo.
And Chris didn't do that great when he was on.
That's what I need to know. If you guys could go ahead and pull me his record, and so I can be prepared for gloating later on in the season, that would be phenomenal.
The better Griggs of the family, for sure.
100%. Yeah, no doubt. By the way, App State's still down by 7. For those keeping track at home. Yeah,
just one pick six away, and all of a sudden, game changer.
I mean, Mountaineers versus Beach Chickens. Oh, never mind. They're down by 14.
Ouch. Well, on that note.
Okay with that.
Yep. And in typical Sports Dolls fashion, Cody, what we do, we put our hand in front of here like we're getting together in a huddle, and we break it down. We say Sports Dolls on 3. So we put our hand right about there, and we go Sports Dolls on 3. 1, 2, 3. Sports Dolls. Bam. Now your internet can drop out, Dad.